next few minutes, what you're about to discover could very well surprise you. It might even be unsettling, but it could also change the way you interact with women forever. In the world we live in, there are certain rules we all must follow. Break these rules, and you could find yourself in a cold, dark place with terrible food. These are the obvious rules, but there's a second set that isn't as clear. Breaking these hidden rules won't land you in jail, but it might actually help you solve one of the biggest challenges many guys face: talking to women. This hidden set of rules is woven throughout society, created by society itself. To fully grasp how it works, it's crucial to understand the two main forms of communication humans use. The first type is called indirect communication, and it's the main form of communication used by women, as well as most people in society. The purpose of indirect communication is to convey something without actually saying it directly. It's essentially a safeguard to prevent someone from coming across as rude. While indirect communication can be helpful in certain situations, it often does more harm than good, especially for men. Think about the last time you were turned down for something. Maybe it was a girl you liked, and when you asked her out, she said something like, "You're cute, but I'm not interested." She probably didn't outright say, "I'm not physically attracted to you," but that's likely the real reason for her rejection. She essentially said no without saying it directly. To understand how to move forward, we need to examine the origins of both types of communication. Indirect communication has traditionally been considered a feminine style of communication and is the default for most women. Direct communication, on the other hand, has historically been the primary form of communication for men. However, in recent decades, indirect communication has become the default for many men. This shift can cause problems when interacting with women and even other men. Many guys get it wrong. For example, imagine you're at a restaurant and the waitress asks if you're ready to order. A lot of men will say, "Yes, can I have the chicken Alfredo, please?" Later, they act surprised when the waitress isn't attracted to them. Remember, how you say something and the tone of your voice matter more than the words themselves. When the guy says, "Can I have the chicken Alfredo?" he sounds like he's asking permission. Now, picture the same scenario, but instead of asking if you can have the chicken Alfredo, you say, "Yes, I'll take the chicken Alfredo." You're not asking for permission, you're telling her you're taking it, regardless of her opinion. It's important to remember that attraction is an impulse, and both women and men have no control over it. When you speak directly and confidently, you trigger that attraction button in women. Think about the actor who plays Thor in the Avengers films. Most of the time, he communicates in a very direct way, especially with women. He carries himself as if everything he says is important, and just believing that what you say matters can make it so. This way of speaking isn't only effective with women. Direct communication earns you respect from other men, particularly those who communicate indirectly. For example, if you're at the movies with a girl and she says, "It's cold in here," chances are she's hinting that she wants to borrow your jacket. Remember, direct communication is masculine, like a warrior. Indirect communication is feminine, and the more feminine a man appears, the less attracted most women will feel toward him, unless the woman herself is more masculine. Since women are, from an evolutionary standpoint, more vulnerable than men, they tend to avoid conflict, which drives their use of indirect communication. It's possible to flirt using indirect communication, but most of the interaction should be based on direct communication. Interestingly, women actually want men to talk to them in this way, but they expect most guys won't. This creates a significant advantage for men who get it right. Direct communication is a key trait of dominant males and plays a major role in showcasing confidence and assertiveness. The key when communicating directly, not just with women, but also with other men, is optimism. In other words, your tone should reflect that you're 100% confident the other person will agree or comply with what you're saying. If you expect a situation to go your way, it's much more likely to do so, and the same holds true for negative expectations. A great example of direct communication is, "I want you to go to the dance with me tonight," instead of, "Will you go to the dance with me?" Asking a girl out this way might be cute in a Disney movie, but it's not the most effective approach in real life. To start speaking in a direct, attractive manner, just begin any sentence where you're asking for something with the word "I," and try to use more statements than questions. When you state something as if it's a fact, it shows confidence and courage, because you're standing firm on something that could be met with disapproval. Many guys today speak indirectly because there's an invisible rule that says it's the polite way to speak. However, the truth is that the most polite way to handle certain situations often turns out to be the least attractive for a man. Talking is something we all do constantly. So the sooner you start speaking like a warrior, the sooner others will see you as one. If you've spent most of your life speaking indirectly, it will feel awkward at first when you begin practicing a more direct approach, much like when you first learned to ride a bike. But feeling uncomfortable is a sign of growth. Just like a movie you see in theaters, you only witness the final product. You don't see the countless takes and repetition that led to that final moment. Women don't care if you were once a shy, insecure guy. Just like you'd still be attracted to a woman who used to be overweight, as long as she's now at a healthy weight. All that matters is who you are now and who you can become.